You're listening to the Intimacy Made Simple podcast, where we have real chats about sex. It's time to tackle the taboo and bust the myths so you can have true intimacy and make your marriage strong. I'm Mary Whitman Ortiz, your host, and I am joined by my lovely co host, Rachel Landon. Rachel, how are you today?
I'm doing wonderful. Doing great. How are you?
Oh, very good. Everybody is just so busy, but it's so encouraging when you see God lays a path for you and you can go, God's got it all under control, and I can just take a deep breath and trust Him.
It's the peace. I like the peace that He gives.
Yeah.
And yes, it's good.
Makes
good.
all the difference for sure.
So I have another question for you.
Okay.
And today's question is a little deep. I don't know how deep we're going to go, but
well, we'll see.
Why do you think people separate sex from intimacy and love?
Ooh, so you mean they see sex as just this physical activity?
Yes.
And it's kind of just what happens in the bed or wherever it's happening, and it's not the whole picture. It's just the physical aspect.
Yes.
I think we see that on the media.
Yes.
That's that hook up, shack up, break up kind of pattern that we see. And it's people getting caught up in the frenzy of emotions, which can be fun and intoxicating, but that's not the solid foundation. And I believe that God calls us to this place of oneness. And when he described Adam and Eve in Genesis and says they were naked and unashamed, they weren't just unashamed because of their physical bodies. They were unashamed because as whole people, they could come to one another and engage spirit, soul, and body, and have respect in every area of their relationship.
That's a good answer. So do you think that in Christian marriages that's present as well, or it's just the people who shack up and
I think anyone can choose to value their partner as a whole person. I think it's easier, a more direct path maybe as a Christian, because you already have a relationship with God and you might have some understanding on how His love works, how accepting God is of us as individuals. But I think this message is just missing. I've told couples before that your sex life needs to get born again, because they have just carried over whatever beliefs they had from before they were Christians and thought, well, we're Christians and we have sex. And they never realized, oh, there is actually a difference in a sexual intimacy experience that honors God and is a part of how His design flows.
That's a great answer. That's very good. Yes, because I do think that people carry what they've learned or been taught. And because the subject is not something you really counsel and talk about, you're just kind of figuring it out. And I think that sometimes, you just carry that into your marriage and you don't even realize it until it's brought up in a question.
Absolutely. So I hope that whet your appetite and you're excited to hear more of our real chats, because the Intimacy Made Simple podcast launches on February 15th. We will see you then.
See you then.